What the f-? I just got done seeing Terminator Dark Fate, and I gotta tell you, shit show doesn't even begin to cover it. You know, there's not that many times that I actually get pissed off talking about a movie. The only other one has been Ghostbusters 2016, and don't worry, I'll re-upload that review soon. It's coming, I promise. But this movie is so insulting and so ridiculous. And I got some thoughts, some random thoughts that I generated and I put down there. So I am going to go through them. And short version is, don't see it. Don't see it. It's garbage. Number one, Hollywood, I'm not impressed with your fucking special effects anymore. I'm not impressed. I don't care. I don't need to see a guy thrown 30 miles across the landscape on fire and then flipping and spinning until he explodes. I don't care. I'm bored. I'm bored by it all. Giant jets smashing into each other. It's so unrealistic that I can't even process it anymore. I'm just sitting there I'm just bored. I'm bored. Stop it. You had the days when you could only have like 40 or 50 special effects shots, and when you did that, you had to do things like, I don't know, have character, a story. You had to do something that people enjoyed. You had to make people have an emotional connection to the movie. What an idea. But no, you guys, you just dip the thing in the special effects barrel and say, that's good enough. No, fuck you. Fuck you. Number two, stop spoiling things with the trailers. Now, this is something that Terminator just cannot seem to stop doing. And it may be kind of little things, it may be kind of big things, but anything that was revealed that might have been a surprise in these movies is already in the trailer. So you maybe, you know, they could have held back Sarah Connor showing up. That would have been interesting. They could have held back that the Terminator actually splits into two Terminators. Oh, what an idea. At least I would have had some surprise. But since the rest of the movie is basically just a rehash of 1 and 2, there's no surprises in this movie at all. Nothing. Genesis spoiled John Connor being the bad guy in the trailer. Salvation spoiled the Worthingnator. T3 title pretty much spoiled where it was going. It's the rise of the machines. I mean, if the machines are rising, I'm guessing it's going to end badly. And even T2 was spoiled by revealing that Arnold was coming back as the good guy. If you watch that original movie and you forget that you know what's happening because you've seen it 8 million times like I have, you really don't know whether Arnold's the good guy or the other guy's the good guy. You don't know. And there's little hints because the other guy will just kill people, and Arnold kind of doesn't do that, but he really kicks everybody's ass in the bar. Oh, and I didn't need to hear guitars and Cadillacs in the background of the fucking movie. I don't need every piece of nostalgia just thrown in there. And let me tell you something. That gets me to another point. If I see an old character's coming back, especially a creaky old actor playing it again, it's not nostalgic to me anymore. It's cringe. I know you're just raping that character. You're just raping him. Sarah is terribly unlikable in this. And she's so abrasive. And before, her abrasiveness was all about protecting John. It was about the responsibility and the weight that had been put on her. Now she's just a bitch. She's just a complete and utter bitch. And no, you just sit there going, why? What happened to you? I mean, I know Linda Hamilton probably needs the yacht money, or her royalties are wearing out on the first two Terminators. I doubt those Children of the Corn money is really going crazy, or Mr. Destiny. Ooh, Chuck went off the air. They don't have anything else to do. So why do you have to do that? And secondly, John is in this. They couldn't get adult John Connor. Couldn't get adult Furlong because Eddie is pretty much, it looks like a puffed up sea frog these days. But they did computer generate, and that looked great. But again, I'm not impressed by your fucking effects anymore. I don't care. But he's just killed off screen. It was the biggest fuck you to the audience I have ever seen in my life. What? Why did you do that? And Arnie just comes in, a young Arnie, and this is before the credits even are done rolling. Young Arnie, young Sarah, young Eddie, and it's like 1998 or something. They're in Guatemala on the beach, and he just comes in and kills them. Where'd he come from? I don't know. Why is he there? I don't know. I thought they stopped the future. I'll get into the time travel aspect. It makes no sense whatsoever. So, Arnie kills John. Sarah spends the next 20 years hunting Terminators. Then this lady comes out, this Grace. And by the way, she's not the worst thing in this whole thing. I was cringing with the whole androgenator thing. Really, it's not she's doing her best. The Mackenzie Davis or whatever her name is, she's doing her best. I really, leave her alone. I don't think she was that bad. She's doing the best she can. There's liquor in here. I need it. I'm not kidding. I need it. We can't have the white guy or an American as the savior anymore. So he just murdered John. All that stuff that we did in T2 and T1, all that stuff that meant something to you, that you enjoyed, that you loved, fuck that shit. He just killed before the credits, and now everything that they did before, it's meaningless. Nobody gives a shit anymore. So, what? Why did they do this? And then they go down to South America because I guess the political bullshit that is shoved into this movie. There are two things. One, it's supposedly a feminist movie, but it doesn't realize how anti-woman it really is. And two, the whole border thing. So we'll start with the border thing. One, you got to have an immigrant save us from south of the border. And the only way she can get here, of course, is illegally, because we don't let anybody in anymore. There's no immigration at all anymore. You know that, right? Trump has shut it all down, and he's just killing them at the border. That's what he does. And so they show this by, the Border Patrol has to pick them up, and they end up in a detention center where the Border Patrol is shitty. And then they make the Terminator a Border Patrol agent after this poor immigrant that's just trying to save us all. Just trying to escape the oppression that she has down there. The bad Terminator plays a lot of symbolic roles. He's everywhere. When they need him to be a fucking Border Patrol agent, they make him a Border Patrol agent. And then the good protector, who's augmented, the Mackenzie Davis character, she's got Terminator parts in her. They upgraded her. Yeah, took her to the shop, curb feelers, the whole 9 yards. And they made her go in and not only find Danny, but release all the immigrants from there. Why? Well, ostensibly to cause a lot of chaos, but the symbolism is clear. We want to save the immigrants because they need saving. Come on, guys. I'm probably all over the place here, and probably the liquor isn't helping, but I'll tell you this. They had, after they got murdered, 20 years passes by, they have a new Terminator come out, and you've seen him in the trailers. He's got, he splits apart, he's really bland, and the actor is really awful. Do you remember when Robert Patrick, when he was in, he seemed to understand human behavior a little bit better, and he seemed to have those moments where he seemed like he was almost normal. There was something just not right about him. You know, the way he looked, the way he caught, it's like, hey, that's a nice bike.
Say, that's a nice bike.
You just go, that was weird the way he said that. Like, it seemed more normal, but in an unsettling way that was even less normal than what Arnie was doing in the first Terminator, when he was just going, fuck you, asshole. That it was a brilliant performance. And you don't realize and appreciate how brilliant these performances are until you see a bland guy from Abercrombie and Fitch do it, and he's perfect at mimicking humans and doing that kind of stuff. It's like, that's not scary anymore. There's nothing unsettling about him. There's no horror in any of these movies, by the way, anymore, and that's what they're sorely lacking. There was those first two movies, they had horrific elements in them, and that's what ratcheted up the tension. There's no tension in any of these movies. People are getting thrown around like, I mean, even Sarah Connor, 758-year-old Sarah Connor is getting thrown around like a rag doll. She's fine. She's fine. Don't worry. She's fine. She's okay. So this Terminator comes back to find Danny. Danny is gets the protector in Mackenzie Davis in Androgenator, and then everything is just like the original one, except we got to shove in the problems with the border. And then Sarah comes in, and she's been getting texts from everybody on how to find Terminators, and then she goes and stops them. So where are they coming from? It doesn't make any sense. They establish that Skynet is no more, and there's a new one called Legion, and Legion sent back this Terminator to get Danny, this 5 nothing of a girl who apparently can kick everybody's ass at some point in the movie when they show a flash forward to the future. She has no problem taking down men twice her weight, twice her size, because, you know, strong female characters. Let me tell you something about strong female characters. Sarah Connor in the original one was a strong female character, not because she had to get saved by Kyle Reese, but because that she continued on in spite of being physically weaker, and that she was not shown. They say in this one, oh, they want to get Danny, the Mexican girl, because she's the savior, because she's going to have the unborn kid that'll be the resistance leader. And it turns out, no, she's the resistance leader. And Sarah says something derisive like, yeah, they just want you for your wound. Sarah, you were not a wound. You were not just a baby maker that shot out your baby and that was all you needed to do. They explicitly say in the original Terminator, you were the legend, the mother of the hero that taught John what to do, how to fight, and did it on the run in spite of all the obstacles you had to overcome. Yet you weren't physically strong. You couldn't throw a Terminator around with your bare hands. That's not what made you strong. What made you strong was being a mother, and not a baby maker, a mother. And to completely shit on that idea is, that's why they dispose of. He's not important. Just shoot him. Because we don't need to be a mother. Just shoot him, kill him. So it's horrible. And then the bad guy, I don't know. He's as bland as it gets. He has the internal robot that looks like the Arnie robot, but he's covered in this vaguely Hispanic skin. I wouldn't be surprised if they say it was internalizing white supremacy or something. But if you look at the plot, it's like, okay, so Arnie comes back. Judgment Day was in 1997. They make a point to specify the date by playing that old footage of Sarah in the mental hospital when she freaks out. It says on August, whatever it was, in 1997, you're all gonna have a bad fucking day. So Arnie comes back in 1998. Now he just appears. Did he come 2 years ahead of time? Why didn't the Resistance send a protector at that time? And if they didn't, how did they know to send one of the other two? I mean, they sent them before when Skynet was starting to send people through, but for some reason no protector was sent for that last one. Why? And then secondly, if he didn't come before 1997, how did he get there? Because now there's a new one called Legion. They know nothing about Skynet. Arnold, that Terminator, is from Skynet, and he knows nothing about Legion, which is the new Skynet, because Legion is so much better of a name than Skynet. Fuck you, movie. So why is he here? He was here to kill John. He did that. Then he went off and he became Carl the Drapery Man. He sold drapes somewhere in the States, met a woman and her son, married her, and became a homemaker. Then this is like, what? Why did this happen? Well, it was so he can learn, humanity like he did in T2. Yeah, but in T2, he first had to be reprogrammed by the Resistance so that he wasn't a Skynet stooge just looking to kill humanity. Because that base programming is what drove all the Terminators. Did we forget that? So no, he just decided to be good on his own. No reprogramming necessary. Because he completed his mission, now he had nothing to do. So I guess he was bored. And he was like, well, I did that. Maybe I'll try humanity for a while. This makes no sense. This whole fucking movie is nonsensical. Everything is either insulting, political, or just shits on what was there before, or lazy. It's just lazy. The editing, there's no character development. There's no chance to get to know them. Danny is horribly miscast as the leader of the Resistance. And the rest of it is just boilerplate Terminator action movie that we've seen before. Except now, we've seen it all before. We've seen every special effect you can throw at us. Don't care anymore. Don't see this. It's fucking awful. It's terrible. That's my review. Wasn't that fun? I'm so glad I can just shit on your dreams. So, thank you for coming. Please, I have to do this. Like, share, subscribe. Come to lastmovieoutpost.com and get all the latest on movie news without the crazy wokeness. We have a different perspective on things, but we invite all perspectives to come in and argue with us, and we'd love to hear your opinion. In fact, give us your opinion down there. I want to know, what did you think of Terminator Dark Fate? Were you stupid enough to shell out money for it? Because I wouldn't. Give us a like, subscribe, share, and stay tuned. We have more videos coming. Well, I just got done seeing Terminator Dark Fate, and I gotta tell you, my thing's falling apart. We're a high quality organization here. So much budget. Well, I just got